And again, it's not what you think about somebody's behavior that's important, it's what you observe. So, and not only management, but employees as well. But beyond those just things that we can look and observe, it's things that we hear and some progressive warning signs that, we need to pay attention to this person is, are they exhibiting verbal accusations to hurt somebody? Are they threatening somebody? Are they directing someone or abusing somebody and either saying that they're going to take them out and beat them up? Or are they being physically aggressive and demanding something? Somebody that, will beat on a chair, beat on a desk, stand in the way of the door, put their hands over the doorway so you can't get out. They're just demanding something. They want something done. They want to be heard, and it's very daunting. It may be somebody, the physical symptoms, again, the change in their appearance, but it may be, their pupils are dilated, they're getting bigger. They get very agitated and they clench their fist, or they have a white fist. So they're just trying to, it's like they feel like they're going to erupt inside and they're just trying to keep it all in. They may be somebody that gives you short answers, yes or no. Maybe somebody that's easily frustrated, doesn't follow the thinking very well. They may be somebody that uses words such as, I'm mad all the time, or I'm very angry, or I'm resentful, I'm going to get even. Maybe somebody that, either won't look at you in the eyes, or when they do stare at you in the eyes, it's like they're looking at deer in the headlights. So again, these are just some signs, some symptoms that you may look at, and if you see somebody exhibiting these things, then we need to say, okay, well, what are we going to do about it? And what I would say is, the first thing you want to be mindful of is just to write it down, to, what are you observing? Because typically what's going to happen is you're not going to see the changes just metamorph overnight from somebody that was one way that just overnight. It's going to be little changes that are mounting up. So, and we're going to talk about how you're going to be able to observe these changes in just a little bit. But if you start to see changes, just document what you observe. I observed so-and-so coming in late again today. And of course, this could be a performance problem that could develop, but this is part of the process. Or I noticed that so-and-so was coming in and, just didn't seem to be themselves today. And again, one day may go by and it may just pass and that's it. But again, if you're starting to see that behavior, and again, it's not what you think about what you saw, or I'm not judging about what I saw, but I'm just going to record what I did observe. So think about a journalist when they go who, what, when, where, why, and how. Those are some of the questions that you may think about as you just jot down some documentation. And this is just so you can be prudent in what you're seeing and write down the day so that if you're tracking things, you can track things over a period of time. So how can we minimize or prevent, violent outbursts by our employees in today's environment, whether we're seeing a change or to catch something before something does happen? Well, again, we have to talk to our employees. We have to get to know them, because if we don't get to know them, then we're never going to be able to discern a change. So, if you see something escalating, try to diffuse that situation. Sit down with your employees. Talk to them. If you see that they seem bothered by something, hear them out. Show empathy. Listen to them. And a lot of times, people are struggling with issues. They may be struggling with issues outside of work, but that's impacting their behavior that they bring to work. So, we're going to talk about a little bit about, getting them into some programs with anger management or stress management or something. And we'll talk about that in just a minute. But, you know, two things all employees want is to be acknowledged and valued. And it doesn't cost the business anything to acknowledge and value people. So if you have managers in your workforce that come in every day and they go to their office and they just stay in their office all day and they never get out and, you know, greet people or they acknowledge people, you may want to have them think about that. Because how different would our environments be if the people that we report to when we came in the morning greeted us and said, "Good morning, good to see you," or just took an interest, you know, saw a picture of your family and made a comment about that, or if they knew that somebody was, you know, facing some medical challenges with a family member, to just ask about that. When somebody has done well on a project, you know, just acknowledge that their good work. You know, thank you for your contribution. We appreciate that. Thank you for whatever. Again, it's just acknowledging people and then valuing, helping people to feel valued in what they do can go a long way. And again, and as we talked about before, you know, people that are committing violent acts, to be recognized, to not feel rejected, that can go a long way in helping them to minimize that violent behavior. So again, when you think about knowing your employees, it's getting out and just talking to them. I've worked in environments where every day the group has had maybe a 5 or 10 minute huddle meeting, maybe it's once a week. You talk about kind of where we were last, what are our priorities today, what we hope to accomplish. Are there any roadblocks that need to be understood during the day, anything coming up that people need to know? And that just gets everybody focused on the same path, gets focused on those priorities. And it also gives us a chance to observe people and say, you know, is there anything that I need to be concerned about? Is there anything that I'm observing from somebody that maybe I need to offer some support to them? Because, you know, today life in general is tough out there. And it's depending on your situation and what's you know, on your plate, you know, it can be that we just need some help. So, you know, do your organizations facilitate classes on anger management or stress management? Do you have trainers that you can bring in to facilitate these type of programs? And it shouldn't be just a check off, yeah, we had a 1 hour lunch and learn session and we're done with it. But, you know, it could be ongoing sessions in that not only do we want to help people that are undergoing the need to manage stress or the need to manage anger, but it also could be training for our managers and supervisors to help them identify some of these triggers, some of these observable behaviors, some of these patterns that we want people to observe, so hopefully we can minimize any violent tendencies in the workplace. So maybe we need to think about training our supervisors to help mitigate some of that. Do any of your employers have an EAP program where we can refer people for appropriate treatment? And that may be, you know, I'm very stressed out about financial management and I need some help with budgeting, I need some help with working through my mortgage or my credit card debt or something. And so, you know, if we can get them some help with those kind of issues, maybe that's going to reduce their stress, that's going to help them be more productive in the workplace. That's going to help them feel that they are a valued member of our organization because somebody saw a need and helped me solve my problem, or an organization had these programs, they supported people researching these programs, they supported people utilizing these programs, and as a result of that, I was able to work through some situations.